Hello everyone, this is Evan Carthy from evancarthy.com, and today we are going to do the weekly preview for the S&P 500 using the setups I use to trade. So that's how we're going to look at the market like always. So what we're going to do is we're going to start out looking from the daily chart, then go into the 1 hour, and then to the 15-minute chart. One thing I did notice, which I thought was pretty interesting, whether or not this could mean anything or not, I have no idea, but using TradingView's charts right here, using the daily, the furthest it goes back to is about 1998. But I want to show you that here, back in October of 97, going to this low right here, back in July of 02, you have roughly about 5 years, give or take a couple months. But let's just say that's 5 years from that low of October 97 to July of 02, so about 5 years, from about 845 down to 845. Of course, it went a little bit lower, but then you have the other lows down here, which hit around there, around November of 08, but then it keeps on going a little bit further to March of 09. So from here, from July 02 to March 09, you have roughly about 7 years in between those two. Then if you fast forward to today, you have from March 09 to 2000 and obviously 19, so it's past that, so it's been over a little bit of 9 years. But whether or not that means anything, I don't know. I just thought it was pretty interesting that you went from this low to this low was 5 years, and then that low to that low was 7 years. And this is roughly, it's not exact. And then you have this low to, well, another low, and it's been a little bit over 9 years. So I just found that was pretty interesting, noticing that little development right there. Well, that means anything or not, who knows, but I just thought it's something I'd point out. But looking at the chart right here, again, this is a daily chart right here, using this trade setup at 38 to 127. Right now, what's happening is, and I'm not going to go over exactly how all these trades work. I went over it in my Forex video that I did last week. So if you want to see exactly the ins and outs of how those setups work, feel free to do that, because I go in pretty good detail. But price came down into the 38, 50, 61.8 box and never hit the 61.8. So the exit is still up here at the 127% at 35, 52.25. So if that does eventually go up to complete there, you know, the markets are going to go up another around 700 points or so to hit that. So right now that is a valid trade setup for it, and based upon that, that would be the target if price does go up and hit that. But now we'll go into the 1 hour chart. I'll zoom out here a little bit, and what I'm going to show was what we're looking for this week is using this high up here and that one down here. This one, oh excuse me, using this low right here. We'll go ahead and draw the pivot points for it, and that pivot point, this right here was a 38 to 127 trade that obviously never went up and hit the 127, and just kept on going down, down, down. But eventually, as it always does, it will come out and fill this. And so what we're looking for, the exit for it, is the blue line right here at about 28.55. Currently price is at 28.24. So it's been making a pretty good run up there. So I wouldn't be surprised this week if price continues to go up there, finally hit it, and finally gets us out of that topping 38 to 127 trade. Because if we do the fibs the other way, you see, I mean, that's just amazing. Look at that right there. Price perfectly bounced off the 423 level before it went back up. That's just crazy how well these fibs work. So that's what we're looking for that to come out, complete that, and that would take that long trade that needed to get filled a while ago, and that one would finally get fulfilled. But I wish I hadn't moved that. Oh, we'll just delete that, no big deal. And as you can see, these other ones, I went here and looked for any 38 to 127 trades that haven't gotten filled right here to the short side. So that's one to the short side, that's one to the short side, that's one to the short side. So eventually those are going to pretty much act like magnets, and price is going to, I'll show you how it works. Price eventually will come back and fill those. So right here, that's going to have to be an exit right there around 26.28. Price will eventually come back and fill that. Here's another one right here. Price will eventually come down and hit 25.49, and then I still have a pink line in there for that one to get out of there about 24 at 87 for those right there. So eventually, as price kept not fulfilling these short setups, it will come back and hit them, but until that does, we don't have to worry about it. What we are looking for right now, and this is why I created the reverse lightning trade setup, because when you're in an uptrend like this, you definitely don't want to take these reverse trade setups right here, these 38 to 127, because these are meant to be continuation trades. What you want to do is you want to take them to the long side right here, because like look at this, if you use that pivot point up here, come down and use that pivot point right there, price came down, hit 38, initiated it, rolled around a little bit, but then bam, eventually when it hit the 127. So that's how I want to use the continuation trade, is definitely when there's an uptrend to it, and not do a reversal of it, because otherwise you just get yourself in a bunch of trades where you're looking forward to eventually come back down and fulfill. And so also when you're in an uptrend, you can also use the breakout trade, or uptrend or downtrend. It just depends what you're in. You use reverse lightning trade, and that's the breakout trade. So use that pivot point, when it breaks out of there right there. First exit to 127, initial one, you can see that came up and hit perfectly. So when you're in an uptrend, these trade steps work amazingly well. What I would say is when I'm using these, if I'm looking for it in price, this is going to be the first 38 127 that didn't get fulfilled right there. So once that happens, then I pretty much know price has probably reversed out of it, and we need to start looking for longs rather than looking for shorts for it. So and you see price come up here and hit the 61.8, came back down here and hit the 38%, and that wouldn't have been done, but obviously that didn't happen to it. So still valid shorts to get in, but you know, you're fighting the uptrend the whole time, and you definitely don't want to do that. So we have a 1 hour reverse lightning trade right here. This is why I'm pretty bullish on the markets moving up next week based upon that daily 38 127 lightning trade setup, 38 127 trade on the daily charts that I showed a little bit ago. Then you also have the reverse lightning trade using that pivot point and that pivot point on the 1 hour chart, broke out, initiated right there. So the first we're looking for the exit up here at 28.45 for it, and that gets pretty close to the blue line, or the bottom of the blue box right there, and that's going to take us out of that other 38 to 127 trade. So yeah, that's definitely what I'm looking for this week to get filled. Whether it happens, you know, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, who knows? Probably the day it does get filled, I'll do another video about it, because then when that long setup is done, it's going to open up some other trades as well. And with the biggest one is that daily chart, 38 to 127. So using the 15-minute chart right here, we can use that one and that trade right there. This is pretty much the only trade we have as far as like a shorter term trade for what's happening. Pretty much the rest of them, if you keep on moving the Fibonacci retracement down, it hasn't initiated any of them right here, because there's the top pivot point. You need to come down and hit the 38%. Now I know it says the 61.8, but it's because I'm drawing them in reverse right now. So you need to come down and hit the 38 right here, which it hasn't to initiated it. So pretty much all these are invalid, and there's nothing that we can do. So what we'll be looking for the probably first trade to the long side, you know, whether it's long or short, we just have to take whatever the market is giving us, is using that pivot point right there and that pivot point right here. We'll go ahead and draw the little box in there, because I just like to make it simple and easy to identify. So that's a perfect trade setup right there for the 38 to 127 trade. And the first exit we have, or the initial exit, is the 127. The price comes down and hits the 61.8, which is going to be down here about 28.19. Then we move the exit just below the 38, which is going to be just below 28.26. If that doesn't happen, and the price continues to go down, then let's put this one on there, and price comes down, hits 28.15. Then we move the exit to the 50%, which is going to be 28.2250. And then the price continues to go down even more after that. We get down in there at the 0% line, 28.0850. And the final exit, which done moving, even if price continues to go down further and further, is going to be just below the 38 at 28.1925. But based upon that daily chart that we have for it, we have the continuation trade. Still is going to take some work for it to go higher, but that definitely is a valid long-term time frame. That's not the one I wanted. I wanted this one right here. Oh, same one. Spread's the same thing. Okay, well, we'll use a blue line for it then. That's what I want. So there we go. So there we have the exit for that one. That's a 15-minute chart. And then let's go back out here to the 1 hour chart, and here we have the reverse lightning trade that is live right now, which is a breakout trade. And we have that exit, which is, whoa, lo and behold, look at that. That one we just put up right there. It is pretty much right on top of it. So when you have, shorter term time frame, or it doesn't matter the time frame, but when you have two of these overlapping so well, there you can see the 15-minute, that's the 38.127 trade. Then you have the reverse lightning trade. For the 1 hour chart, that's extremely bullish right there. So from what I've seen, I do think price is going to come up and at least hit those levels right there. And I also think it'll get some more push through and finally take out that longer term 1 hour chart 38 to, scroll out here a little bit, this one over here, that 38 to 127 one right there, and get rid of that one to the long side. So then basically what we have setting up all below it is a bunch of short setups that price will eventually come back and fill. But like I showed you from what I showed from the daily chart right here, there is a, get rid of that, definitely is a possibility just because it is a live setup right now for the 38 to 127 trade. You see hit that 38, never hit the 61.8. That you're looking at the exit if price does continue to bust up here up to 32.58, but that's going to be a longer term time frame for it. So basically what we're looking at for beginning of this week is for these blue lines up here based upon those two different ones to get filled. Then I look forward a little bit more follow through for 2856 level, 2858, and after that we'll just have to see what subs have presented themselves and go from there. So hope that helped. If you want to see me go over anything else, be glad to do so. Good luck this week and try to make some money. Thanks. Bye.